The $1,000,000 homepage kid that sold pixels. When you think of a $1,000,000 website, you'd probably think of a website like Google or Facebook, but there's a website called the $1,000,000 homepage. And in 2005, a 21-year-old that goes by the name of Alex 2 created this website in order to generate some income in order to pay off his university fees. Alex had studied in the University of Nottingham in the United Kingdom and was studying business. He was worried that he would be saddled with enormous student loans. Little did he know that his attempt to pay off his loans would lead to him making more than $1 million in little over the span of 4 months. That's crazy, right? But how did he do it? Back to the $1,000,000 pixel. It took only $50, 2 days of his time, and an idea. In Alex's own words, it was a get-rich-quick scheme that actually worked. In 2005, Alex lay down on his bed with a notebook and pen and brainstormed cheap things that he could sell $1 million of. He jotted down a lot of ideas and even came up with some really bad ones. A noticeable example was his so-called gum slinger, which was a small pouch to store used chewing gum. Gross. Then he eventually came up with this idea of starting a website with 1,000,000 pixels on it and selling each one for $1. For a minimum of $100, that is 100 pixels an advertiser could buy, a 10 by 10 grid to display an image or logo that they had liked with a hyperlink. He said that the only guideline was that it couldn't be pornography related. The website featured a web banner with the name $1,000,000 homepage and had a pixel counter showing how many pixels had been sold. It also had a navigation bar on it to direct to one of the 9 internal web pages. He also promised that the website would remain operational until 2010, but it still remains up today. So Alex basically made $100,000 by selling each pixel on a 1000 by 1000 pixel web page for $1 a pixel, which were image-based links. Apparently, buying these things would be great for your Google rankings, as relevant backlink data didn't exist back then, and I'm very glad Google has evolved from this. You might be wondering why, if he lived in the United Kingdom, that he didn't sell his advertising space in Great British pounds. Well, the clever guy thought of this too, as the United States had a larger population than the UK. Alex's hypothesis was that more people would be able to relate to the concept. In 2005, £1 was worth approximately $1.80, and that cost per pixel may have been too expensive for many potential buyers. This all didn't happen without some help, however, as he was so excited about his website and he managed to let people know about the website from word of mouth. He managed to convince his friends and family members over the period of 2 weeks to purchase 4.7 thousand pixels, and he used that money to hire a PR agency which wrote a press release that was picked up by big media outlets like the BBC and The Guardian. His website grew so much in popularity that it was ranked number 3 on Alex's list of movers and shakers, only behind Britney Spears and Photo District News. The site made $3,000 that day, and I was like, holy crap, I just made this out of thin air. It felt like Monopoly money, Alex explained. The $1,000,000 homepage completely sold out of ads in 4 months. And that's not bad for a quick way to pay off your student loans. Alex's website made $250,000 in 1 month and even received 65,000 page views in a day. By the end of the 3rd month, he had made $500,000 from more than 1,400 advertisers. By New Year's Eve, 99% of the pixels were purchased. Alex had decided to auction the last 1,000 on eBay, with milliondollarweightloss.com bidding $38,000 to make him a grand total of $1.04 million. Alex dropped out of university shortly after and moved to London. This did give him a confidence boost, but it also pointed him in the wrong direction, especially because his aim was to find things that would get attention rather than providing value toward the end user. From 2006 to 2010, he tried to launch many new ventures, namely Pixel Lotto, 1 Million People, and Pop Jam. He did this to try to leech off his $1 million homepage fame, but him, like many other copycats, were unable to replicate the same success. He said that these copycat sites popped up almost immediately, and the copycat sites were all competing with each other. They have very little ads, therefore it's not going to go too well for them. The idea only works once and relies on novelty. Any copycat sites will only have a pure comedy value, whereas mine possibly has a bit more comedy, plus some actual pull in advertising dollars. So I say good luck to the imitators. Some notable companies that bought pixels on his site were Yahoo, the producers of Walmart, the high cost of low price, The Times, cheapflights.com, 888.com, and companies offering dating services, get-rich-quick schemes, loans, and holiday services. So clearly lots of variety was offered. A relatively recent study by Harvard University found that the site has a large amount of link rot. Think of this of hyperlinks no longer directing the user to their original intended location, due to the resource going offline or being moved somewhere else. Of the 2,816 links that originally existed on the website, 547 of those were dead, and 489 of those redirected to another website. So that's $487,000 US not working to the originally intended purpose. If you're curious as to how he's doing now, he has started an app called calm.com. You may have heard of it, and he's doing quite well for himself now. Subscribe to make sure you don't miss a single video that we upload, and press the notification bell to be updated on new exciting videos that we have in store. If you have any suggestions for future videos, leave it down in the comment section below. Till we meet again, goodbye.